Good morning, world. And welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Yes, we had a bit of a few technology issues, but we are here and we are good to go. It's been a very, very eventful week, and so thank the Lord for it. We are here with our guest this morning as well. So yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left some, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, again on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, Ian Jones, as well as our guest for this weekend, Mr. Jason Simmons. Today is September 9th of 2023. We have seen yet another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw the Detroit Lions actually go into Kansas City and destroy the Super Bowl hungover Kansas City Chiefs, whom out there looked rustier than a can of WD-40, especially those wide receivers who couldn't touch the football and couldn't catch the football. I guess it must have been a hot potato. On the other hand, we witnessed the United States fall to Germany in the FIBA World Cup semifinals, 111, 113. And the debate will now continue if our best players in today's generation truly care about the game, et cetera, on top of et cetera questions. And now, let the debates begin also about the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur Sanders as they went into the 2022 national champion runner-up's house and defeat them in a very impressive fashion. Is this team for real? Additionally, the WNBA playoffs are almost set, and our Chicago Skyfellas are trying to obtain the final spot, while on the other hand, the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces are one game apart fighting for home court advantage, as well as their team superstars Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart battling it out for 2023 WNBA MVP honors. And lastly, we also seen the Chicago Cubs continue their winning ways overall and are now 2.5 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers, first place in the NL Central. And so with that being said, we will now progress to our brother, Jamar Goodman, this morning. And so introducing my brother from another mother and one of my partners on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm up. I'm definitely up, man. How's everybody?
Pretty good,
Yes,
pretty good.
yes, definitely up. Yes, absolutely. And additionally, introducing our partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and our other brother from another mother, Mr. Ian Jones, a.k.a. Rod Tidwell. Mr. Ian Jones, my bro, what it do?
I'm good. How we feeling this morning, fellas?
Pretty good, bro.
Pretty
Yes,
good.
sir. Yes. And world, we have a guest that'll be with us shortly, and when he does, you'll get to know him. All right. And so, fellas, let's now progress. Let's talk some football. NFL football is back. And so we saw the Lions at Chiefs this past Thursday night. And so, fellas, just curious, how did both teams look for you? And which team do you actually think has the opportunity to win the most games this season? And so, Jamar, let's begin with you and et cetera. And so, Jamar, how did both teams look for you at the start of this season in week 1 on Thursday night?
Both teams for me, they looked like, I feel like they both look like they haven't done it in a while. Now, granted, the Lions actually came out and played really well, but it was still moments to where that offense was a little stagnant. So I feel like that would probably ramp up as we, get through the season. Kansas City looked like you could definitely tell they missed 2 of their 3 best players for sure. Travis Kelce. I outside of the rookie Rice, from what I saw, like everybody else just, was pedestrian, especially Kadarius Toney. Like, I'm surprised that man's still on the team right now. I don't even know if he's going to see any snaps in week 2 because, I mean, the man dropped about 3 or 4 passes, and one of them hit him dead in the hands and went for a pick 6. Like,
Jamar, it was multiple. It was multiple. It was multiple right in his hand. Like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we can suit up Ian Jones out there, and he can catch 4 for 50 yards out there the way that
man, easy. Man, easy.
So, like, but one thing's for sure though, I mean, Patrick Mahomes still look like Patrick Mahomes. It's like he did everything he could to win that game. It just the supporting cast wasn't there. Obviously, they missed Chris Jones a lot because Lions continue to do whatever they wanted to do. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he definitely was out there balling. Jared Goff and the play action was working. David Montgomery, former Bear, was getting a lot of touches. The only thing I just wanted to see was more of a Jahmyr Gibbs. He didn't really touch the ball as I thought he would, but the times that he did, he looked really explosive.
Very explosive, didn't he?
He did. It's like, I see why they had the comparisons to Alvin Kamara when he first got in the league.
Exactly. He looked just like Alvin Kamara, bro.
Dude, like he's special. He's gonna be very special, but
he's gonna be a really good running back. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so to answer your other question as far as who gonna generate more wins, I mean, when I first saw this question, I was like, well, like, what are you thinking with this question? But then again, I thought about it, like, because the Lions do have an easy schedule. They really do. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. But I'm going to say Detroit might have a better chance of getting more wins than the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll say that because, for one, they need Chris Jones. Like, without a doubt, like, you haven't resolved that issue at all. 2, I mean, somebody else has to step up, even when Travis Kelce comes back. Like, somebody else has to step up. Like, last year they had Juju, and I understand Juju didn't have the best statistical year, but he was still somewhat of a threat to a certain degree, to where it had more balance to the offense, to where the running game became alive with Pacheco towards the end, and then you got McKinnon out the backfield, and then Valdez-Scantling, he can, take the top off, and et cetera, right? So, and Kadarius Toney last year played a big part in them winning it all. But just how they currently look now, and I know there's other teams coming for their throats later on, just at this moment, I think the Lions has a better chance. Matter of fact, the Lions could probably start the season 6-0 based on their schedule if they really come to play every week, and if that defense actually be somewhat what they was on Thursday night, to just be exactly. You ain't got to be great, you just be enough. So yeah, that's my answer on that.
Yeah. And bro, your thoughts, because it's a very, very it's a tale of a lot of tales. And so tell us what your thoughts is.
First of all, gotta say this: grit.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, bro, they really came in and then kind of shocked the world. But you know what? I kind of wasn't surprised. Those receivers, they played real poorly that game. It could just been that game. So you kind of give them some grace, first game of the year. But I wouldn't be surprised if here's rumors around Tampa Bay that they're not going to extend Mike Evans. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City make a wild trade within these next couple of weeks for a true number one receiver. Because that was my biggest thing. I know they got Travis Kelce, but Travis Kelce is still a tight end. And even, when they had Tyreek Hill, they had even though he's a smaller kind of dude, he still has that, that special factor to him because he's dynamic, and nobody is fast like Tyreek Hill except, maybe a handful of people, but they don't have that anymore. And they don't have no, veterans really in that receiver room. So I felt like on a night like, Thursday, and it's no Travis Kelce, that can hurt them, So And I mean, essentially it did. So I think that's
Mhm.
going to be a big thing for them this year. I don't understand why. I think I made the status on Facebook. I don't understand why they didn't go after DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like he would have been perfect for, in a situation like that. You don't have Travis Kelce. He could have been that, that security blanket that he can rely on. A short completion. He might not take the top off the defense, but that's what you have the other guys for, the other speedy guys for in the slot. So I feel like that hurt him. Of course, Chris Jones not being there. So I mean, it's still a long season. It's only game one. And I told somebody the other day, I said, what's crazy is, the media, everybody's going to be on the Chiefs real hard. And I said, the Chiefs going to sit back and you're going to look up. The Chiefs going to win off. They're going to run 6 games in a row and be 6-1. So I said, they'll be fine. Pat will be fine. It's just, they just had a bad game. Hopefully this doesn't become a trend.
Yeah. This is interesting. And so when you say become a trend, what do you mean by that, Em?
Just the receivers constantly dropping the ball because these are kind of technically all. They have a brand new receiving core, but I mean they had Sky Moore last year and Kadarius Toney half of the year, but everybody else is pretty much new. I know they had a rookie. He caught a couple pass number 4. I forget his name, but this is technically a whole new receiving core from when Pat first got to Kansas City. They had Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, Tyreek Hill. There's none of those guys in it. Yeah, no, none of those guys in that room no more. So except Travis Kelce, and he's in the tight end room. So it's gonna be an adjustment, but I think they'll be all right. I do think they need to make a move for one of these number 1 receivers that's on these other teams, but they got it. But they got to pay Chris Jones first. So
got to pay him first. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And so for me watching the game, guys, the wide receivers look rustier than a can of WD-40. Well, if you know what WD-40 is, it's basically something that you use to get off the rust. And it was very apparent that the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers could not catch the ball. If they would have caught a few more passes, guys, they would have won by 2 because they would have been in field goal range, But Kadarius Toney he didn't have it. On the other hand, another thing I noticed with the Chiefs is that they couldn't run the ball effectively that game. If you can't run the football and you got to rely on your quarterback to be the superhero every game, hope you guys listen up and not roll your eyes. You're not going to win football games. Your quarterback has to be able to rely on his team. He can't just be the superhero every game. And all you watch all Thursday night is Patrick Mahomes. He's this great quarterback, et cetera, but it comes to a point to where a quarterback just have to go to the choir room and sit in the back and watch his team work, and he doesn't have to be the superhero all the time. If not, he's going to have a short career. And so you are absolutely right, Em. They need to go after somebody that can take the pressure off him. They need Travis Kelce back. And additionally, those wide receivers that they need to get that rust off that WD-40. And so, Jason, can you hear us, bro? And
I can hear you. Hopefully, y'all can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Man, it's about damn time.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. That's that voice. That's that voice we grew up knowing, Em, right? That is that voice.
Sir.
So, yes. So, with that being said, introducing our guest for this morning, our brother who joins us for the first time on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, the intelligent, kind, muscular gentleman, fellow Morgan Park Mustang, and also our former starting center on offensive line, our brother from another mother, Mr. Jason Simmons. Jason today serves as a financial analyst at Altria, which makes total sense, as me and Jason intensely studied together at Chicago State University in the School of Business after Morgan Park High School, where as of today, he has plenty of experience in both the financial services and accounting professions. Jason currently resides on the East Coast with his family, where, sorry, ladies, he is currently taken and is engaged to soon be married, and is a dad to a 3-year-old boy and stepdaughter. So our brother Jason Simmons, we welcome you this morning to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Thank you for joining us this morning. How are you, my brother?
Hey, I'm blessed to say the least, man. Happy to be here. It's like a family reunion. I love sports. I love competition. I love you all's passion as I've seen the prior episodes come out. And it's just nice to have a slice of the early morning and just get my weekend started, get my head right.
Exactly. Hey. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. And so, Jason, we appreciate you joining us, bro. As you know, we are talking football. And so we are talking the Detroit Lions going into Kansas City and, taking care of the Kansas City Chiefs. And so we want to get your thoughts, bro. What are your thoughts on this game? What takeaways? And if you had to pick a team that you thought will win the most games this season, who would you pick, Detroit or Kansas City?
All right. Number one, I'm going to start off with the most games. It's going to be Kansas City. My whole perception about that game was, hey, KC was without some of their resources. I think Detroit could have just pounded that ball more often. They got kind of off their game plan. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And we know in the trenches make everything go. And I think one of the commentators, they really hit on that not having the starters play in the preseason. Everybody's going to be rusty. I remember when we played ball, coming out the first few games, those exhibition games, it was a rust factor. Just not having that muscle memory down pack. And I think about, 4 to 5 games, that muscle memory really starts to come into play. So we can see that on the highest stage is that it just takes a little extra time.
Yep.
Right.
Agreed.
Man, that's well said. I thought you were going to continue the way you said it, man. That's beautiful. And so, I totally agree, bro. Rust factor. And you're right, man. Them damn wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs look rustier than a can of WD-40. And so, yes, sir. And so, we will continue to pay attention to both of these teams as the season progresses. Detroit looks like the real deal, y'all, Holyfield. And so we'll see both of these teams continue on with their season. And so on the other hand, fellas, Jamar, you can chime in as well as you, Jason. Team USA falls short, and they fell short in the semifinals versus Germany. And so, Jamar and Jason, what happened here, fellas? And how does this look for the future of USA basketball? Jamar.
I mean, at the end of the day, Germany, and I feel like a lot of these countries, in general, just generalizing everything, I feel like they take, FIBA probably more seriously than we do would. Yeah. And that was going to be one of the questions I would ask. Like, do you think that just the common fan and just us in general, I mean, I feel like we, value the Olympics more than we do FIBA. And so when we, do these competitions, it's just more so for a lot of times lately, just more so for the up and coming guys to maybe get their feet wet and more so, I guess, ultimately maybe trying out for the Olympic team per se. But at the end of the day, man, it just feels like, Germany wanted it more. There's more continuity there. And we talked about, this subject prior to them getting, into the tournament on the 25th. And, I know I said that I didn't think we, we'll be fine. I said that, but, we also talked about other teams that could give us issues. And I don't think Germany was one that we named, but we also named some other ones, though.
No, we named Germany. We named them right at the end.
Right at the end? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, but nevertheless, man, I mean, hats off to Germany for doing what they had to do. Shocking majority of the world, if not all of it, as far as knocking us out. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the winner of this is going to be the ones that really deserves it. So we don't.
True. Yeah. Serbia and Germany, gold medal game. And so, your thoughts, bro?
You know what? So I seen what Steve Kerr said that, this is not 92 anymore. And I kind of agree with that. why I think, the US, they give us a hard time, they lose a game, they win by 3 or win by 5. Granted, we're supposed to, always win, but why can't it just be like Steve Kerr said, this is not 92 no more. These guys have caught up talent wise and, fundamental wise. This is not, that was, 30 years ago. I was born in 91. It's 30 years ago. This is, I mean, they take, like you said, they take it more serious. Most of those guys are in the NBA as well now. It's not, and this is not a dream team like, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, or a team like that, or even a redeemed team like with LeBron and Kobe and, Kevin Durant. Granted, they're still NBA players, but I mean, the talent, could be pretty equal. And, we just might be a little ignorant to the fact, that we don't really pay attention to, those players, and they're star players. And like Jamar said, they take it serious. They take that more serious than we do now.
Well,
We'll pay
FIBA, they
attention.
take the
Yeah,
FIBA more
FIBA. Yeah,
serious.
they take FIBA
Because
more.
there's
They
right,
take
it's a
it.
whole umbrella in itself.
Yeah, they take that serious just as the US takes the NBA as serious. So I just think it's pretty much that, the talent is just, pretty much equal now. It's not really you know, a big talent gap. And I think they're probably a little more fundamental here or there. And two, it's not like on this USA team, it's not like we have, the prime Steph Curry or prime LeBron James, or, all our superstars, that's in the NBA. So I think that plays a part. And another factor too, I think, as me bringing our NBA stars up, I think you're going to start to see us get in like a kind of weird space in the NBA because, okay, LeBron's turning 40. Well, he'll be 40 soon. Steph is 34, 35. Kevin Durant's in the same age bracket. Damian Lillard, is around our age, 32, 33. These guys are getting up there. So we kind of like in that mid-grade area, like who's going to step up and be that next superstar, or what former star is going to be the next superstar? Is it going to be Zion? Is it going to be, we got guys like Brandon Ingram, Trae Young. Who's going to extend? Giannis,
Imagine if all those names you sent went to the Olympics.
Yeah. I think Giannis is in his early 30s, I suppose, I believe. But guys like that,
20s, I think.
Yeah. Older 20s, yeah. So I think we're gonna start to see, that we kind of gonna get in a weird space. Like who's next? Essentially who's next? Who's gonna take over? And I think, Anthony Edwards could be one of those guys. He's been balling during FIBA. So I just think the talent is just pretty much equal now. I don't think it's as, well off as people think, just because, a lot of people don't pay attention to it because it's not the NBA.
And Jamar, I got to disagree with y'all, fellas. I don't think the talent is the same. One advantage a lot of those guys got is height. They're bigger. They're naturally taller. True. They big. But as far as actual talent, dribbling the ball, can do what people can do, etc., the United States got that advantage. They just do. They got real hoopers. A lot of the international guys got guys that could, really dominate you down low. And that's just my point I want to make. The United States, no disrespect to Jaren Jackson Jr., I like him. He's a nice kid. But literally relying upon him as your center, and the competition guys were literally, when we talked on those videos, we stated that Spain killed the United States down low. Lithuania killed the United States down low. Germany killed them down low. It was the same repetitive thing the whole tournament, Jason. The United States fellas got dominated in the post, and we basically sent our power forwards to be our centers in a competition where a lot of the guys are just big. But like you say, skill-wise, and they big as hell, and they can shoot. And not to mention in FIBA, the three-pointer is just like the NCAA tournament, Jason. We can literally shoot the 3-pointer, bro. And so it ain't like you shooting that long ass NBA 3-pointer. You shooting a 3-pointer where it's March Madness, basically. And so a lot of us can kind of shoot that, you feel me? And so the United States got exposed heavily down low, and they had Bobby Portis, who was a power forward in the NBA, and Jaren Jackson Jr., who was a power forward in the NBA, to be our centers and expect them to go against guys who's 7'2", 7'3".
I got a question. So I done heard we talk about the talent gap when they talked about size differences, body makeup. But my question for you gentlemen is, what's the biggest difference between the NBA and, let's say, that FIBA style or international Olympic ball, just in terms of the physicality, the leeway that the refs have? And I know you bring up a good point about getting beat up down low. What's the biggest difference? And I know our players are not used to that. You know,
the rules are different, Jason. They are very lenient with FIBA. Like, you could literally, I was watching a lot of the games, y'all, and they literally touching the ball while it's on the rim and laying it up and like tipping it back in. And I'm like, hold up, in the NBA, that's like goaltending. And you've seen that like quite often. You've seen the referees kind of let a lot of stuff go. They're very lenient, very loose. It's like playing a street ball game almost. But it's not like heavily regulated like you see with the NBA, where you touch somebody, it's a foul. Like, it was very loose, and the referees are very lenient. It's a big difference. That's a really good question. It's a big difference.
And to that point, you know, it's almost like being out of your environment. And I just think once our NBA is soft, in my opinion. You know, I growing up in Inglewood, bro, it's no blood, no foul. And I think these guys just get in their mind condition. Oh, I'm gonna get to the foul line. I'm gonna get to my spot, or I'm gonna get fouled. And it's not that case on that global scale. And I think that's the biggest difference. Our rules are inhibiting our players in their development. That's why that gap is kind of closing. When these guys come over getting trained, battle trained in that hardcore environment, they're ready for the NBA. It's a piece of cake.
Easy. Look at Joker. Look at Joker. Look at Luka.
Luka's a great example. He failed in the draft because people thought it wouldn't translate. Well, it did.
Yep.
No, you're right. I think even Luka might have said at one point in time that it's easier to play in the NBA than where he was initially, just because of the style of play, the rules difference, just the nature in general. And like Jason said, it's like the players over here, like, you know, this is the greatest league in the world, but at the same time, when you watch the NBA, and we can just compare it to college, right? Like how the difference it is as far as intensity and physicality and, you know, cohesion and all this stuff in college compared to the NBA, where it's like more, I don't want to say watered down, but it's more, you know, like you said, like I'm gonna get to the foul line, you know, this ticky-tack call, like it's more of a game within a game type deal instead of actually just going out there and balling and hooping and just doing what you like really great at. I feel like the only player on USA for FIBA that I feel like that you know has that dog in them that can really just do whatever was Anthony Edwards. Everybody else, I do have question marks about. I feel like Ant-Man's going to be on the Olympic team based on his progression and stuff and what he can do out there. But yeah, like just like you said, it's just style of play, what they're used to compared to playing over here, as opposed to everybody else in the world. Everybody else is a grind in a grit. You know, that's Ian's favorite word, grit. So it's you know, it's more of that. It's more of a chip on their shoulder type deal as opposed to us being fed on a silver spoon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Fellas, that is a very good point, Jason. Thank you for that question. Yeah, you know, it's very interesting, guys. And the size part, I kind of just noticed this. The world seems to have a lot more players that are bigger, but they're very skilled, Jason, compared to us, where we have a variety of guys that are skilled, etc. But the United States in that tournament were lacking size. And so it's a very interesting question that as we go forth, Are the United States going to continue to develop guys to play like Golden State to where they can shoot the three ball and not just be a Shaq as they go forward? Because in Europe, etc., Africa, well, not Africa, but definitely Europe, those guys are very skilled. They can dribble, they can shoot, Jason, they can do everything. It's not just one element of I'm finna just back you in and dunk on you. You see what I'm saying? And so it's a very important question that as the United States go forward, are they developing the bigger guys to play the game completely and not just inside out? And so thank you for that point. The rules, etc., they are very, very true. It's very valid. And so that is some to definitely post for this week. Fellas, let's continue. After last week's win at TCU, quickly, we don't have to go into details, but if you guys want to give the flowers to Colorado, please go ahead and do so. The Colorado Buffaloes for real, Jamar, Ian and Jason, based off of what you've seen last week at TCU. The Buffaloes for real.
I mean, I would say by default, considering that the Colorado Buffaloes only won one game last year, and they already matched that mark already by beating the team that just came from the national championship that we just, even though they got beat down, but they made it there, right?
They got whooped.
Yeah. I fell asleep.
I think I did turn that game off at halftime.
No, I turned it off in the first quarter.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you. But in any event, Coach Dion, I mean, I feel like his thing is real. I feel like, the whole movement, everything that he's doing, his son is a real quarterback, like just everything, like all the, the hate and, all the criticism he was getting as far as the transfer portal and all these people leaving and stuff, and, his style. See, the thing is, when something is different, when you're not used to it, you usually become scared of it. And when you become scared of something, that means you don't fully understand it until it actually becomes, something that sees results. So at the end of the day, you saw results last week. I think this Colorado team has a chance to definitely be eligible for a bowl game here. I know the schedule is going to get a little bit rocky further on when you start playing like the USCs of the world and Oregons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But just as far as today, I think they're going to take care of business against Nebraska. I think they basically, the average fan of just sports is probably became a Colorado Buffalo fan and Dion fan. They're going to be tuning in to each and one of these games. So it's a win. And yeah, I think they're for real.
Yeah. And
so I wasn't surprised at all. The only thing, so I actually watch them every day. His son has a YouTube page, he, details, what they're doing in practice, just the interaction with the whole program. So I literally watch it every day because he posts every day.
Right.
So needless to say, I wasn't surprised. The only thing, I was a little weary about was the trenches. Like, how would the O-line be? How would the D-line be? And, I was sitting here watching it and I was like, well, like he got all day. And so
all day.
Yeah, so as far as Travis Hunter goes, the running backs, all the receivers, I seen him do that every day from just watching him on YouTube. So I'm like, that doesn't surprise me. But Travis Hunter is really him. Like, he's him, and he proves it every time. Like, his ball skills are bar none. I haven't seen him from watching him in practice when they show it on YouTube or in a game. I haven't seen him lose a jump ball yet. And you would think he's a 6'4", 6'3". Travis Hunter is like 6'1", maybe 180 wet. You would swear he was Randy Moss. I haven't seen him lose a jump ball yet.
And just really quickly, y'all know who you remind me of? And Jamar, you probably don't know this young dude. Remember LaRon, y'all, class of 2010, a light-skinned brother that was a wide receiver?
Yeah.
LaRon. You probably don't remember LaRon. Small dude. But every time a jump ball came up, he would come down with the rock. And, Travis Hunter obviously is taller than LaRon, but on that level is guys that's a lot bigger, right? But the touchdown was called back, as you remember, Saturday against the.
Yeah. Yep. He should have had 2 touchdowns. Shedeur threw him a dime, a go route, blew past the DB, Now I've never seen him drop like a diving catch, jump ball, none of that. So when he came down on the ground, the ball hit the ground because his body hit the ground first. So if you notice on the interception, when he caught the interception, he rolled on his back so that wouldn't happen again. He got the interception.
Right.
So he should have had 2 touchdowns with those 10 catches and an interception. And he dropped another interception too that I didn't see. He dropped another interception too. So he should have had he should have had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with 10 catches over 100 yards. That's insane. You can't even do that on a video game.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised. I think they should handle business today against Nebraska. Like you said, the schedule is about to get rough because I actually looked at it last night. They're gonna go. They got to play Oregon, USC, and I think they play Colorado State next week, which is just a rivalry game. But they probably should win that. But yeah, it's gonna get a little rough. But I see them winning about. People call me crazy, but I see them winning about 8 to 9 games. Now I'm not saying that they're gonna go to the playoff. That's a little far fetched, but I think them and USC will be the measuring stick to see because USC they don't play no defense, so that should be like a shootout like last week.
Yeah. Yep. Jason,
I heard you brothers hit on the talent. And even with Coach Prime, the mindset that he's putting in these young men. I think the greatest thing they have going for themselves versus the prior year of only winning 1 game is that teams don't have the tape on their players. So they're going in here totally blind. And I think, being that dark horse, being that underdog, that's the greatest thing they got going for themselves. So I'm eager to see when they get put up against some of these upper echelon programs that have these higher pins or stables of talent. It's going to be a good time. So I'm sure we all going to be rooting for Coach Prime, coming from the HBCU, coming up to the big level and proving people wrong. It's going to be very interesting. But his son, man, hey, he's good. He got the talent. The talent is there. And I can't wait to see, looking forward to the future, all the additional talent that they're able to bring in. I know HBCUs were that was kind of the vision of bringing some of these elite talent to these HBCUs. But I think now with Deion being at that D1 program and having the platform and the resources, he now has the opportunity to make kind of that a realization of bringing in some top talent to one place. We already see with Travis Hunter and his son, but just imagine what next year is going to look like having some more talent come in.
Exactly.
So
facts.
Yep. More people gonna want to go to Colorado. This is facts.
Oh,
yes, sir.
And they know they're going to have the opportunity to play because there's not that many blue chip players at all the positions. It's just going to flourish. So I'm eager to see this program grow.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And so, world, yes, we all believe that the Buffaloes are for real. And that is a very, very good point, Jason. Very interesting to see how this program grows. Yes, fellas. And so quickly, world, notable college football matchups. 11 Texas, y'all, today versus 3 Alabama. It's a big game. As you know, they've kind of had this little series going. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens today with this game. 20 Ole Miss versus 24 Tulane. And 22 Colorado in their home opener versus Nebraska. And so, world, that includes our notable college football matchups. Jamar, you going to say something, bro?
Yeah, I was going to say just really quick, just a note here. That Texas-Alabama should be, happen more often because I believe Texas is going to be joining the SEC here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think next year, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2024?
I think so.
Yeah. Either 24 or 25, one of them.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Right. Yeah. Texas. That makes the SEC even more crowded. It's already the best conference in college football, pre-NFL. And so, yes. All right, well, let's progress now, fellas, to our NFL Week 1 picks. And so, Jason, you will rock with us, bro, to make these picks. We got a lot of good games coming up this weekend. And so, Jamar, you'll give us your picks and then followed up by Jason. And so, with that being said, Jamar, We got the Titans at the Saints. Who you got, bro?
Titans and Saints.
Kind of confusing here, Jamar, because we ain't got no tape yet of these teams or nothing, like the Jason just stated. So
at all, because I mean, to me, both teams have question marks at quarterback. I mean,
yep.
You know, Derek Carr, new team. You know, I would imagine Derek Carr is gonna, be productive. And I don't know how many. It's been 2 years straight for me just going in on the Tennessee Titans in that quarterback situation. So I'm gonna just leave that be. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Saints gonna win at home on this one.
Okay. Yeah. And Ryan starting, right, for Tennessee?
Ryan Tannehill?
Or is it Ryan or Malik?
Effectual. I don't know.
No, I think I'm sure it's Tannehill, Trashill, whichever one you want to call him.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a good one. I ain't heard that one before.
Trashill.
Trashill.
Yeah, man, we've been calling him Trashill, man, since the implosion versus Cincinnati in the divisional round playoff. Just been bad. And the truth is that Derrick Henry been carrying that offense and that franchise for years. Yeah. Ian, bro, Titans or Saints?
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Titans over the Saints. No Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr, new scenery. Could take a week or two to get the kinks out. So I'll go to the Titans.
Yep. Jason, who you got, bro?
Titans Saints. I'm gonna roll with the Titans, man. That running game, the addition of D-Hop. We're gonna see how this thing play out. But it's like you said, King Henry been running that thing. I think you have a little bit more leeway with D-Hop, but hopefully it's not a repeat when A.J. Brown was there. So we'll see. The Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints, fellas. I think that home field is one of the best in football. Yeah. I think Mark Ingram is actually back for a decent year this year. He was a good running back. Just kind of set a lot in Baltimore. But last year, he kind of got his feet wet again. And so, I think New Orleans, they kind of come and they make a little noise tomorrow. Buccaneers at the Vikings. Jamar, who you got?
Look, you already know how I feel about the Vikings. You already know. But, I mean, the Buccaneers don't give me any reason to believe that they will win this game at all whatsoever. Until I actually see proof of Baker Mayfield being a competent quarterback and probably his last go-around as being a starter in this league, I guess. But in Vikings at home, I have to pick Skull by default.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Ian, who you got, bro?
I'm gonna roll with Jay Jettas in the Vikings.
Okay. Jason, who you got, bro?
Man, purple people eaters, man. I just don't see this being a big competition. Too much firepower.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Vikings too. I think the Vikings are a better team. But just a warning, guys. I heard the Bucs were looking really good in the preseason. I don't know if that matters.
It don't.
And then
it don't.
I mean, the Bears started off 3-0 last year in the preseason, so I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Additionally, I heard.
Hey man, people trying not to get hurt in the preseason, bro. They trying to. I'm not gonna.
I heard. Go ahead. Jason.
I wouldn't play in the preseason to my fullest, risking the season that's coming up or the following season if I'm in a contract year. So this ain't happening.
Yes, this is facts, bro. Absolutely. Yes, we tell you know your football, man. Yes, and the Bucs. I also heard Baker Mayfield was looking good, but once again, it's the preseason, and so. All right, y'all. Let's progress. The Cardinals at the Commanders. Kyler Murray probably got something to prove this year, y'all. Y'all sleeping on Kyler Murray. And on the other hand, the Washington Commanders, they got a new quarterback. But they have lost some guys on defense. They find a way to steer the ship in Washington with Ron Rivera kind of be a middle of the pack team. This is a hard one to pick for me, but who you got, Jamar?
Hard one to pick.
Yeah.
I think it should be Cancun on 3.
It really should.
It's a joke. Let's go with Washington, fellas. It appears that Washington is the better team. Definitely, because the Cardinals are just they're trash.
Kyler's on IR, so he's out for the 4 weeks. They basically
Oh,
gave
so
up
he's
everybody.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
When you said that, I thought, man, they finna put some lemon pepper on them birds, man. This ain't even finna be a game.
Yeah, dude, it's over. No Kyler. You got rid of D-Hop. JJ
Right.
retired.
8 men in a box. They ain't finna run the ball with Connor. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Daniel Snyder sold the team, so I'm pretty sure this fan base is about to be like jumping for joy. It's about to be a beatdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
I ain't even think about Magic Johnson. Being isn't he part?
Yeah, he's an owner too now, man. He was just
that's a whole nother. Yeah, it's an add on there.
It's an add on there. Yeah, he wins wherever he goes too, right, Jason? He wins wherever he goes, and so that's very interesting.
Yes, GM of the Lakers.
He found a cure too, so he's a big winner in my opinion.
This is true because he left, but he made sure he left him in a good position, right, Jason? He left him in a good position as he left, and they became a championship team. He picked up LeBron as he left, and so
Brandon, he found a cure.
Right. And so 49ers at Steelers, fellas. Who y'all got for this one? Chuck Jamar?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers. And there's no disrespect to the Niners. I don't know. I'm just something about the Steelers. I'm a believer this year a little bit. I'm taking Steel Curtain.
All right. Yeah. And who you got, bro?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna roll with the Steelers. Brock Purdy, he gonna have to make me a believer. I want to see if it's. Last year was a fluke because the team is so talented. They got a great offensive minded coach. You put him in the right position. Or is he the real deal? They didn't gave up Trey Lance. They gave up on their number 2 pick. So let's see what Purdy got.
You're gonna definitely see. You absolutely gonna see. Yep. Yeah, Jason, who you got, bro?
Froze. I think he froze, I think.
Okay, he froze. Okay. And so, yeah. Jason, when you get a chance, you get back, give us your pick. It's interesting. The Steelers finished strong last year, 9-8. Was literally a few seconds away from a playoff berth again. And so that was the first time they actually missed the playoffs, right? I think under Mike Tomlin. Or at least, right, yeah. And he's never had a losing season with this team, which is amazing. And so it's very, very interesting, but I'm going to go with the Niners. I think they're a better team. The Niners are one of the best teams in football. We have them in our top 5. And so why would I pick the Steelers? The Bengals at the Browns. Jamal, who you got, bro?
Woo. Division game off the rip.
This is just because the Bengals is in the top 5 for most of us.
I know.
Deshaun Watson had an extra year. He's back. This could be a good game.
That's true. They also traded for Zadarius Smith in the offseason to go on the other side of what's his name?
Miles
Garrett. Yep. I mean, still got Denzel Ward in the secondary. I do believe the Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper connection. I think that's a real thing. And also the fact that
still got Nick.
That's where I was going. So with Nick Chubb actually having a real quarterback here, they can't stack the box like they probably used to, because you got to pay attention to that. And as soon as they give, the nickel look or the dime look, Nick Chubb down the throat. So that being said, I am taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game.
That's some analysis there. And who you got, bro?
Man, me and Jamal, we on the same page today. So, you know, Joey B just got that big check. You know, there's a lot of hype going around. You know, Jamar Chase talking crazy. I love Jamar Chase, man. That's my dog, man. Probably like my favorite receiver right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns, man. I think nobody's really talking about the Browns. Browns are very talented. Similar to the Lions, they've been very talented on paper for the last 5-6 years. They just haven't really put it together. So I think they start off good. I think they go to Cincinnati and I think they win this first game.
Yeah. So by the way, they're in Cleveland. And so they're in Cleveland, my bro. And so man, y'all make really good points. That's gonna be a tough division. That's gonna be a really good division to watch.
All good quarterbacks. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals though. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Panthers at Falcons. Somebody got to win the game, y'all. Somebody got to win the game. And so, unless they tie, I think they tied last year, by the way. Who do you guys got for this one? So, Jamar, who you got for this one?
Look, man, Carolina don't have DJ Moore, and the last time that I remember these two teams playing, DJ Moore won the game and lost the game for them at the same time.
Right.
And that's okay.
That.
He went through his trials and tribulations so he can be a better player with us. And that's all right. That's all right.
That's it.
That's it. So with that being said, I am taking the Dirty Birds. I'm taking the Falcons. Look, fellas, I told you all, I got the Falcons winning this division. I'm a believer of Bijan Robinson. I'm a believer of Drake London. I think he's a dog. I'm definitely a believer in Hall of Fame Kyle Pitts. I think this is coming out party. I think the defense have gotten better. And I think Ritter, actually fits the system better than what Mariota did last year. I do believe that. And it's okay. And if Ritter doesn't, then I know for a fact. Shane Falco, also known as Taylor Heineke, I feel like he could come in and be fine. So either way, I got the Falcons winning this game.
Hey, can y'all brothers hear me?
Yeah,
yes, sir. We can hear you, Jason. Yes, you're back, my bro. And so, before we get to you, Jason, quickly, who do you got, the Niners or Steelers, bro?
Hey, man, sorry for the cutout, but I'm going to rock with you. I'm going with the Niners. I'm Mr. Purdy finna lick Purdy. It's so much talent in the trenches. I've heard that they're going to pull back some of the reins on McCaffrey, kind of preserve his load. And I think it's kind of be going to too much for the Steelers to kind of contain the additions on that defensive line for the 49ers. They're going to stop that run. They're going to get after that pass. And I think, what's the gentleman's pick? Is it Pickens? Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
quarterback for the Steelers.
They're going to put some pressure on that Cole, you feel me? So I'm going to go with the Niners. The Bengals, that's going to be my pick. Too much firepower. We'll see how Mr. Watson rebounds, and I think it's his second year with them. So yeah, that'll be my pick for that game. Quarterback got that bag, should I say. So I think he's going to he reminds me of Tom Brady in some of his demeanor. So I think that's what he's going to put forth. And for Panthers and Falcons, rookie QB, this is a tough in-division matchup here.
Rookie quarterback, but they say he's talented, right? He looked talented very much in college. Kyle Ritter, he looked terrible to me last year, but Jamar believes in him, and so I know Jamar knows his football. So
we talk about the quarterback from Cincinnati that plays for the Falcons, right? Riddler, is it?
Desmond Ritter,
Kyle Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
I'm gonna roll with the Falcons, man. They don't have as many new pieces as the Panthers do. They got all those new receivers on the Panthers side. The young QB, he does not have his number one wide receiver. On the other hand, you have a second-year quarterback for the Falcons with all those weapons and Bijan. Give me the Falcons.
Yes, sir. Yep. And so, we're gonna go with you now, bro. Who you got, Panthers or Falcons?
My pick is a little biased.
Of course it is.
I'm going Carolina, man. I love
Oh,
Bryce. Keep pounding. I think I'm going Bryce. Rookie quarterback, first W. And it might not be enough for another couple weeks, but I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this one.
Hey, Ian, you supposed to be rooting against them, man. You know we got their draft pick, brother.
Yeah,
you know we got
took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. Shame on you.
Shame on you, brother.
Hey, we got DJ Boy. That's all.
Hey.
Oh man.
You know, I don't know if you know, Jason, but Ian has been low-key a Carolina Panther and Detroit Lion fan for years.
You
And
just
so,
like the color blue. I ain't trying to hear that.
I think that's probably what it is. He loves the colors.
And he's secretly a Michigan fan
oh
too,
my
but he don't want to
God,
admit that.
He take that.
You're
He
taking
take
the
that
words
filter
out
off.
of my
I bet
mouth
you got a
because
blue
that's the
wall
one
behind
reason
him.
I sit there and wonder, like, why does Aaron love the Panthers so much? And I was just literally thinking as he was talking, like, he must love the sky blue, like, and how it all looks and how the uniform is.
Man.
Like, yeah, legitly, Jason. Like, I kid you not, bro. So, and he'll pick the Panthers 16 weeks in a row. He won't care if he get an L. He
Hey,
going
man.
with the Panthers.
Living out here on the East Coast, especially in Virginia, there's a lot of Panthers fans. There's more Panthers fans in Virginia than it is the damn Commanders.
Wow.
That's crazy.
What about the Ravens?
Yeah, what about the Ravens?
You got to go a little bit further north to really latch in for the Ravens fans because you get that split between the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
You know, so you get those people who go back and forth, and I'll be like, I ain't trying to hit. I'm a Bears fan through and through. So I see people jumping ship. They skip right over the Commanders. So that's why you don't have that abundance of Ravens fans here in Richmond, Virginia. I'm about an hour and a half south of D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes sense to why there's a lot of Panthers fans then, because right by the border.
Carolina right on down, and they had that long-standing history, you know, going back to the Tar Heels, NC State, Duke. It's this large presence of that. And the color blue, to you, is very prevalent down here. It's a lot of blue in North Carolina.
Go ahead, move down there, Ian. Go ahead, man.
we got 4 seasons. It's 4 seasons for real.
Yeah, I might have to think about it. I might have to think about it for real.
You be at home, dog.
Man, it's interesting, man. Very interesting, and it's fascinating to just see you surrounded, Jason, by so many different teams. You know, and you being an hour and a half south of DC. The Baltimore is only a couple hours. Is it an hour away from DC,
it's 2
fellas?
hours. Yeah, it's about an hour north of DC.
Wow, that's it.
And East Coast it's like a big belt, bro. I can literally be in New York, 7-hour drive, and then I can go down to Florida in 12 hours. So it's just a lot of density out here on the East Coast.
Right. Very interesting.
Brandon, why you stalling on this pick? I know it's a tough one, but why you stalling, man?
All right. Panthers and Falcons. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons, fellas. All right, let's progress. The Texans at the Ravens. And so, Jamar, bro, who you got for this one, man? You got the Texans coming out pulling out an upset, or do you think think Lamar come out look good tomorrow? Do you come out look rusty? Who you got for this
one? 1, 2, 3 Cancun on this one.
Ravens.
Yeah. Hate it had to be CJ.
I can't pick the Texans. I can't pick the Texans in. How? Like, I can't.
They might make it competitive. They might make it competitive, but I got the Ravens.
At home? That's all right.
Yeah, and so you got the Ravens, right, Em?
Yeah, I got the Ravens for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And so, Jason is having a Wi-Fi issue again, fellas.
I'm still here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
okay, great.
Yeah, it's just the video. My cell phone got hot for some strange reason, but the voice is here, brother. I'm here.
Fantastic. Yes, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Unanimously, the Ravens.
Okay, unanimously the Ravens. All right. Yes. All right. how the hell are we gonna pick unanimously between the Jaguars and the Colts? So is there a possibility to pick unanimously here?
I'm on board with that.
Yeah,
I'm on board with
on
it too.
board.
It was sarcasm. And so, because I can't pick the Colts, I think there's a new, honestly, Jason, I think there's a new sheriff in town for the AFC South, and it's not Tennessee.
Oh, no. No. The way they blew that division last year, no. How is Ryan Tannehill still a starting quarterback in this league? I don't, never mind. I'm not going to get on that tangent.
How the hell is he still a starter? He's a starting quarterback in this league because Malik Willis is just terrible. That's why.
Will Levis is no better either. I'm done.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't see
Jags.
Maybe the Colts can come out and surprise some folks, but you know, if the
no
Jaguars
Jonathan Taylor, Jags. No Jonathan Taylor, rookie quarterback, Jags.
I mean,
in theory, it'll take a miracle, man. It'll take a miracle, legit one.
The Jags should definitely handle business in theory. I have like a very small percentage that the Colts would like upset this, but we'll see. Jags should win.
Yeah, Jags unanimously. All right. Packers at our Bears. And so, Jamar, who you got for this one? I heard Jordan Love is looking good. Justin Fields looks good. A lot of folks are sleeping on Jordan Love, they say. And so Packers, you know, could clear to have a complete football team. Still got a lot of remnants from previous years on that team. So, outside of the receivers, but, you know, a lot of people are saying that the Packers are the most complete team in the division. That's what they're saying. And so, who you got for this one, Jamar?
Hate it or love it, right? Hate it or love it.
Yeah.
So
look at Victor Young. As soon as we pick the Bears, he starts cheesing. He just can't wait.
It's on his chest. I mean, there's no further words.
But to give a quick little background on this one here, for starters, Christian Watson is out, so I ain't got to worry about him.
Okay.
Romeo Dobbs is questionable, and that's a real 50-50 right now. Last time I saw that defense, the last playmaker, the only playmaker that I saw, that's
Jair Alexander.
Exactly. Because, you know, Quay Walker, last time I saw him, he was crying on Monday Night Football, getting ejected from a game. Todd Gary, I mean, I think he's coming back from ACL. I mean, the defense on paper looks good, but they played mediocre last year. You know, the only chance I see for the Packers to, you know, actually give us problems if the running game gets going between, you know,
Aaron Jones
and AJ Dillon. Like that's the thing that concerns me seriously. If we can actually stop a nosebleed, you know, in that middle this year, hopefully our linebacking core that's supposed to be top 3 in the league actually, you know, fill in the gaps that our defensive line may not be able to with that. But the fact that he's lacking his number one wide receiver, that the only one, in my opinion, that can take the top off the defense, it kind of condenses things for them. So plus, you notice I'm saying things about the Packers negatively because I feel like our Bears in certain areas are definitely going to exploit them. So you know what, that's all you need to know.
No, this isn't a biased pick. I totally agree, Jamar. I see your points.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, you got the Bears. Ian, who you got, bro?
Everybody know who I has.
Okay.
Justin Fields for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bears in the route.
Yeah. Jason, who you got, bro?
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna roll with Jamar. He's, you know, he kind of, as Ian was giving his answer, he said, "Boy, you better." But yeah, I appreciate Ian's forecast, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Bears, man. It's Fields being more comfortable having that number one emphasis on the run game. I know we had Tevin Jenkins out. That'd be a little difference. I'm not a real big fan of Whitehair or the Lucas Patrick. I think that needs to be one of our draft picks next year is the interior line. But
Cody. Yeah.
I'm a roll with the Bears, man. It's just gonna bear down. If we're wrong, we wrong. It's all good.
Yes, sir.
We gonna ride till the wheels fall off. Bears down, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They already know. I ain't got nothing to say. All right. Eagles at the Pats. Who you got, Jamar?
Hey, I feel like this could low-key be a trap game for the Eagles, but I'm not going to pick. It can, but I'm not going to pick against them, though. I just feel like, they too loaded. Even on the other side of the ball, on the defensive side, even though they lost, quite a few starters, I mean, it's been plug and play. They basically the Philadelphia Bulldogs, man. They got the whole Georgia team on that side. But no, there's too much continuity, too much elite talent for Mac Jones to overcome. I don't care if O'Brien is his offensive coordinator now. Your number one wide receiver is Juju. That's it. That's all. Right. That's all I need to know. Eagles.
Yeah. And bro, who you got?
Fly, Eagles fly. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, DeAndre Swift. I mean, Fletcher Cox. I mean, the list goes on. Darius Slay. Too much. Fly, Eagles fly.
Yeah. Jason, who you got, bro?
Man, put some lemon pepper on the birds, man. I got the Eagles, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, I think Jalen Carter. Hey, aside from Jalen Carter's off the field issues, he is a blue chipper to the fullest. I don't think he would have been right with any other organization because he got all his Bulldogs with him, his brothers to keep his head right. So I'm a fan of his, and I want to see him have a good game, but put Mac on his ass. It's gonna be a good time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Rams at the Seahawks because I got the Eagles too. Who you got? Who you got, Jamar?
Cancun on 3.
Yeah, this might be Cancun on 3 as well.
Where y'all get this Cancun from, bro? Enlighten me.
Oh no, it just popped up one
day. Man.
No, it come from
was it the TNT? The TNT crew?
TNT, yeah. When they whoever lose and they get sent home and they do the Cancun segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And additionally, Jason, Jamar just started stating that whenever we see a game and we know a team look like they just as possible to win, we just say Cancun on 3 and we just all 1, 2, 3, meet Jamar in Cancun. So we can say in this case Cancun on 4 because I think we might all agree here. And so correct me if I'm wrong, we're all going with the Seahawks, correct?
Yep.
I was going with the Rams. Not playing, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
No Cooper
But you
Kupp,
never know, man. Cooper Kupp might come out and is Cooper Kupp playing?
No, he's hurt. He's on. If I'm not mistaken, he's on IR. He's on IR.
Yeah.
They don't.
I think he got 4 games. He's gonna miss some games.
4 games. He got hurt. 4 games.
He got a real
hamstring.
He got a real bad hamstring. They don't even know where it's stemming from. So
yeah, this
he might be. He might be out longer than 4 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah, and I know Stafford's your favorite quarterback and all, but there's no hope.
That's not my favorite quarterback. That's your favorite quarterback. I've never. So they're making fun of me because I gave Matthew Stafford a hard time. After he left Detroit, I just felt like he wouldn't get it done. He would find a way to choke. But they actually won a Super Bowl. But I kid you not, man. After that Super Bowl run, he's literally looked like the guy I knew he would look like.
Hey, and that's fine because he got it done. He put all his effort into that one year. He got it done,
run, baby.
He can retire now.
And he gonna retire and live his life with fat money bags and with the ring. Unlike Calvin Johnson, who never left. He got the money, but he don't have the ring.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, this is true. He put it into that one run, and so he got that ring definitely. But now, boy, he looking like he need to hang up the damn cleats. So yeah. On the other hand, y'all, the Dolphins at the Chargers. Who y'all got for this one, Jamar? Who you got for this one? This might be a good game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put eyes on this game here.
Yes, sir. Definitely got to.
Boy. I'm probably gonna end up picking the Chargers on this one. Now, I feel like both teams definitely have a chip on their shoulder here. But I think more so, especially the Chargers, especially the way we saw them in their season last year, how, they was up so much in a playoff game and choked that away. And I'm so shocked that, the head coach is still employed. I feel like my job security at my job is intact, knowing that he still has a job. That's how I feel about this. Like, I'm safe. But, Herbert got it back. They drafted a wide receiver, and I'm mistaken, in the first round. You got weapons on both sides of the ball. I think you got a healthy team with a lot of players with a lot of chips on their shoulder. Like, this is almost like a do or die year for the Chargers to a certain degree. Yeah. A lot of people, I think employment and job security is at stake here. So I think with sense of urgency here, I think the Chargers going to get it done.
Yeah. And bro, who you got?
This kind of a tough one. Dolphins are loaded. Chargers are too. This should be an exceptional game.
No Ramsey.
Yeah, I know he's still battling back from that injury. Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go Chargers though. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Jason, who you got, bro?
Chargers, man. You got to think about that run game. I'm going to see if Miami can stop that run. They keep the ball, time of possession. You keep Tua and his weapons off the field. And then, you add Quentin Johnson to that trio of wide receivers that they have out San Diego. The deep strikes down, sidelines, down the middle. Hey, it's going to be Chargers all day, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. But the way the Chargers look in the fourth quarter, I think they're going to find a way to choke it again, go look good for 3 quarters, come down to the fourth quarter, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, going to hit them up. I got the Dolphins. I don't know if that's an upset, but I got the Dolphins going in to beat the Chargers.
No, I don't really think it's an upset, but
hey,
it's not an upset, but
according to the betting lines, I guess technically it is.
Yeah.
If Eckler has a big game, they win.
Yeah.
And so, that ball.
Yeah. It depends on Eckler. You're right. He's a very important piece for the Chargers. And so, Chargers gotta be able to control the possession with Austin Eckler, which obviously he was looking to get out of LA.
Yeah. The disgruntled Austin Eckler.
Yeah, he was tired of just being there. So,
him and the rest of the running backs in the league.
Right. And so basically, I'm going to go with the Dolphins for this one, fellas. On the other hand, the Raiders at the Broncos. So who y'all got for this one? Oh, by the way, Prescott JB. I don't know if you know Prescott JB, but that's big Josh Bryant, Jason. Remember Josh Bryant, class of 08?
Oh, I can't forget.
You can't forget him. He was on the line with you. And so Justin Fields is going to leap over the entire Packers defense tomorrow. And so, yeah, that's what Prescott JB is stating for the Packers and Bears tomorrow. And so, yes, Raiders at the Broncos. Good morning, Daniel, as well. Good morning, Prescott JB. We've had a good amount of folks chiming in. Who you got for this one, Jamar? Raiders at the Broncos. Who wins this game?
Man, the Raiders got Jimmy G as their quarterback now. We got somewhat of a halfway disgruntled. You are? Yeah, I see, man. You got a halfway disgruntled Devontae Adams. You got a probably 3/4 disgruntled Josh Jacobs. You got 100% disgruntled Chandler Jones, who's not playing this game at all.
Right.
He needs some milk.
A lot of that. But you also, on the other side of the ball, you got Sean Payton, who got something to prove here. You got Russell Wilson, who got something to prove here. You got a healthy Cortland Sutton. You got Frank Clark, who joined the team. You got Patrick Surtain, who is a standout corner. I ain't said these words.
They still got Judy, right? They still got Jerry Judy, right?
And he's questionable. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get up. I ain't said this in a long time. Bronco country. Let's ride.
Bronco country. Let's ride. Yes, sir. Yeah. The last time he said that, last time he said that, Jason, was week 4 of last year. I remember because I was listening to it.
Oh, that might not have been good. Week 4 last year.
That's a long time ago.
Russell Wilson, boy, he needs some deodorant, extra deodorant after last year. Boy, stinking.
And so yeah, bro, who you got? Raiders or Broncos?
I'm not a believer in Jimmy G. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know he got DA over there, and it might be a good marriage between him and Josh McDaniels, but I'm gonna go with Russ. I'm gonna go with Russ and Bronco Country.
Now let me ask
Jamar.
you this,
Let's
man,
ride.
because this is a really interesting point. Because I think it depends on Jimmy G for you to believe in him or not.
That's your favorite quarterback.
Are you saying, yeah, it is. I like him because he wins. And so it's very interesting here. You don't believe in him with the Raiders, or you just don't believe in him based off of San Francisco?
I don't believe in him, period. I just think he's maybe a little better than Alex Smith. I think he's just a game manager. He's always been around. Excellent talent, and probably, he's had some good offensive coordinators. So that's what I'm saying. It might be a good fit for him in Oakland back with McDaniels. So it might be a good look. Got the best receiver in the game over there. So might be a good look. They got a pretty decent D-line. So we'll see. Great running back too. Very underrated. Great running back too. Very underrated.
Yeah, definitely. And so you got the Broncos?
Yeah, I got the Broncos.
Jason, who you got?
Man, I got Sean Payton, man. We're gonna see. When we talk about Coach Prime, his impact coming into the organization. We'll see what the fruits from Peyton's lineage come from. It's like Andy Reid. You come in, you embark your mythology, you motivate these men, you lead these men. So we'll go with Sean Payton.
I'm really interested in seeing how the Broncos defense look tomorrow. But I actually got the Raiders. I think the Raiders gonna be up to something, man. Devontae Adams, I believe, is one of the best receivers in football, and he has been for a number of years. Even people still think he's the best receiver in football now. We must forget just how dominant he was in the second half of last year. Put that with Jimmy G, who just don't make mistakes, really. He manages the game very well. Josh Jacobs is a great running back, very underrated. I think the Raiders beat the Broncos. I think the Broncos continue their ways of being who they were last year and find a way to lose this game late. I got the Raiders. Cowboys at the Giants. That look like that's another good one. Jamar, who you got?
Division game. Like on paper, the Cowboys and Dak, be doing this little thing. But I'll pick the Giants.
Yeah.
I think the Giants win.
By the way, y'all, just to address the comments, Prescott JB stated Jimmy G went to EIU. You better believe he's going to show up and hang with an adult movie star later after the game. Yeah. Yep. So
ask JB which adult movie star. I'm curious.
Right. Was it?
I think we have an idea of what it is.
Oh, I know. I just want to see it in words.
Yeah, put your stamp on it.
The pay-per-view.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's interesting because the nickname that his nickname is Porn Star Jimmy, and so yeah, we'll see, but he's a winner. Prescott JB, right? You gotta agree. Jimmy G, when he's on the field, he wins football games. Just find ways to win football games. And lately, Russell Wilson's been finding ways to lose football games. And so I really hope that he can do well with this Denver team and finally give them a reason to be excited, because literally I saw a post this week, fellas, on Facebook that stated, after week 1 win over TCU, Travis Hunter has done more for the state of Colorado than Russell Wilson. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And so I hope he wins because it's a better look for the Broncos and for Russell Wilson to make this not look like it was a bad trade. All right. And so, Jamar, you got the Giants. And who you got for the Giants, Cowboys, bro?
Giants and the Cowboys. Notably speaking, this is one of the teams that, actually, two of the teams that didn't call DeAndre Hopkins back, which is mind blowing to me, but that's another conversation. And Daniel Jones. This is actually a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys, but I'll go Cowboys. They should win. Their defense is loaded, so they should win.
They are talented. Yeah. Jason, who you got, bro? Cowboys or Giants?
Now I'm gonna go with Cowboys, man. He's gonna put some pressure on Daniel Jones. One wild card I do see is presence of Darren Waller. See how the difference and how they use him. Any type of pressure relief of taking that eighth man out the box for Saquon is going to be a help for them. And they also got that rookie Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. So we just don't know until we see some tape. But from what we seen last year, give me the Cowboys.
Right, exactly. Yeah, from what we seen last year, Cowboys appear to be the better team. So I'm going to go with Dallas as well. The Bills at the Jets. So, Jamar, who you got for this
one? Oh, man. I've been strong on Bills Mafia for so long. I was a believer, but this is one of those years. It kind of feels similar to when I was talking about the Chargers. This is a make it or break it year. As far as the Bills, your window is starting to close here a little bit. You supposed to have been that team. Josh Allen, you supposed to have been that guy, but yeah, Joe Burrow showed you up, and you not that guy like I thought you was. At the moment. I'm a believer of the Jets this year. I am, for a number of reasons. But I definitely think the Jets going to get it done. They just have a lot of talent in a lot of skill positions, and they actually got the number one issue addressed in the offseason, which is a competent quarterback. Aaron Rodgers don't have to be MVP level for them to win. He just got to do what he does his whole career, not turn over the ball. He has the best touchdown to interception ratio, I think, ever, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, give me the Jets. Jets.
Yeah, bro.
It's a tough one. It's actually a brother's game. Dalvin Cook and James Cook. Yeah, they'll be playing each other.
Yep, true. Thanks.
Man, the Jets are loaded. To the stage, the addition of Dalvin Cook, Garrett Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers might look like Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers in a couple weeks. Man, this is a tough one. Might be a shootout, depending on how the defenses play. But the Jets got a pretty good defense. Got Breece Hall coming back. It's a tough one. Got disgruntled Stephon Diggs. That team is still talented, very much talented. Man, I know everybody gonna pick the Jets. I'm gonna go Bills in the upset because I think everybody gonna think the Jets gonna win. So I'll go Bills in the upset and a shootout.
All right, yes, sir.
Everybody was not gonna pick the Jets though. I'm gonna go ahead with the Bills. Firepower. There's somebody that people are really not talking about. That's Dalton Kincaid. He has the mode of a Travis Kelce, just in terms of a movement standpoint. And I think when you have all the eyes on Diggs, Davis, the running ability of the quarterback, he's going to be beneficiary of all those underneath passes. And I just think it's too much firepower. Then you got to think about the lack of continuity that Rodgers has with his receivers.
Garrett
Wilson, they probably got that, but who else is behind Garrett Wilson? You don't know. So I'm gonna roll with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. I actually wasn't gonna pick the Jets. And the reason why I was gonna pick the Bills is because my concern with the Jets is this is their first game.
Together.
And I don't know how their continuity is going to be just right now against an elite team. I could see if you were playing maybe the Panthers or you were playing like the Texans, but this is the Buffalo Bills, who is viewed as a heavy favorite to possibly represent the AFC by, according to many people. They still have a huge window in Buffalo, and I'm pretty sure they want, if anything, guys, to get that home field because they know they might need it if they want to get to the Super Bowl. And so I think the Bills come out a hungry team because you guys have mentioned that window and that realization that that window's closing. And so I'm going to go with the Bills in this one, but it's going to be very interesting to see how Aaron Rodgers, when he gets warmed up, what could happen, because when he gets warmed up, he's very unstoppable until you get to the divisional round of the playoffs, and then he turns into a whole different person. But outside of that, in the regular season, he's very unstoppable. But this is his first game. Might take some time. So I'm gonna go with
Brandon.
Bills. Yeah.
Offensive line. Buffalo Bills get that pass rush. We know what Aaron Rodgers looks like underneath pressure. Average.
He looks very average when that D line is on his back. He makes and that's what makes him loses. That's what made him lose with Green Bay. Every time he lost, he had a lot of pressure on that defensive line, and it really slowed him down. And so that's a really good point, Jason. And so we're going to see that heavyweight fight take place Monday night. And so with that being said, world, thank y'all for rocking with us for our NFL picks. And so, yes, very, very interesting games that'll be occurring week 1, NFL kickoff. And so now we transition, everybody, to our last segment, and it's called Ann's Basement. And so, Ann, my bro, this morning for Ann's Basement, what you got for us?
Got a couple of things before we get out of here. Our Chicago Sky, they clinched the playoff berth. That's good to know, to keep seeing them.
Yes. So it's clinched. It's clinched.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking that the last game would matter, but we got in.
Yep, so we clinched. So that's always good to see a Chicago team doing well. Like I stated before, it was 4 teams that didn't call DeAndre Hopkins back. 49ers, Cowboys, Giants, and the Lions, which is, I don't understand that, but, I'm not in the front office. So he stated that, whenever he played either one of those 4 teams, he's going to try to, quote unquote, crush their ass. So that's something to look out for. That's something to look out for this year. Came down D-Hop. And another thing I seen this week, Justin Fields signed a deal with Reebok. So that was pretty shocking to me. Are we going to see, Reebok hasn't had any real football shoes or football wear since they, sponsored the NFL back in the day. So are we going to see a Justin Fields football shoe, a football cleat? Is he going to have a signature shoe? That's pretty exciting to see from our quarterback. Could be the face of Reebok as football. Well, as of now, he is. So that'll be something to watch out for. That's all I got for us this week, fellas.
All right. Yes, world. That includes our segment for Ann's Basement. And so now, y'all, we will progress with our final thoughts and shout outs. And so with that being said, we're going to go with our guest for this morning. And then follow up with you, Ann and Dan Jamar. And so, fellas, as we head into the weekend, any final thoughts, shout outs as we head into this weekend? Jason, let's go with you, bro.
That's a good one. So on this show, we talk about shout outs. Give me an example. I just want to hear.
All right. So, Ann, any final thoughts or shout outs, bro, as we head into the weekend?
Nah, man, everybody have a good weekend. Man, shout out to Jason, man. Shout out to my boy.
Yes, sir.
We go way back from Cal Park Rams when we were shorties to Morgan Park Mustangs. We go all the way back. So that's my dog. Appreciate you coming on, having time with us this morning, man. Had a good conversation with you, man. Come back any other time for sure.
And so since I got a great example of a shout out, I'm gonna shout out to some recent people that we've lost. Spurlock.
Yep.
We got another brother, AKA hashtag, I'm gonna make y'all roll to the next fire truck come around with the sirens on. Yeah,
Yes, man.
this
Fast
next
off,
brother,
bro.
this
Fast
next
off.
brother is still with us, but you know, I saw a recent Facebook chat, 909 Mark, and I think one of my favorite comments was from Terrence Allen. You know, son, you got to put on the whole armor of God. You know, so it
Yes,
just brought me
sir.
back to the Morgan Park days.
Yeah, man.
It's just
Every
nice
game.
to see a whole bunch of young black men. We started together and where we at in our point in lives. Everybody's doing their thing. It's inspirational to see, and I appreciate being back on this accord with you gentlemen. And look forward to a future invite. So I enjoyed this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. And gonna be on rescreen. And by the way, Jamar, I got an email on rescreen. On the other hand, Jamar, bro, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, a couple of things, but first and foremost, thank you, Jason, for joining us today. You are definitely welcome back by far, my guy.
Man.
But Colorado, I know we talked about it earlier, but I just want to just reemphasize how like the journey of Coach Prime has been, because when he Prime loves coaching the kids. He does. He wanted the Florida State job. They didn't give it to him. So he had to go to the HBCU.
Well, actually, they offered it to him. I think he could have got the Florida State job. I think Shador's senior year, but he turned it down though for whatever reason. I don't know why he turned it down, but he turned it down.
Gotcha. But you know, nevertheless, just the journey. It's like as I get older, like for me, I appreciate more so the journey than the actual destination with a lot of things. Yeah. And so just his impact at Jackson State and HBCUs and bringing College Game Day there. And, you know, last week I saw, HBCU game on ESPN and just the forefront that he has done there. And now his impact at Colorado. And, you know, it just, you know, his just impact in general, not only with the young man, but just more so just his whole effect, his whole aura. So just more so just giving flowers to Coach Deion. Like that's a team that I'm going to be watching each and every week. And so when they play USC in that game, that's probably going to be the most televised game of the year outside the national championship, just because of the magnitude of the game between the Heisman candidates at that time. It's just going to be that real. So I just definitely want to give more flowers to Coach Deion.
Yes, sir. Sure. Yes, sir. And that's a really good point because Caleb Williams, I just saw a commercial with him. He took the spot of some former athlete. I think it's a Subway now. Somebody. It's one of those big restaurants.
Yeah. He's been on TV the last couple of weeks. Every other commercial.
Yeah, and this guy, this is still a kid in college, fellas, like at USC. And so you got teams rumored to be tanking for him this year already. And so, yeah. Jason, bro, pleasure, man. Pleasure. Man, this was fantastic, bro. Fantastic conversation. We had a ball with you. Man, thank you for being patient with us through the technical difficulties of our other platform, but it all worked out and it turned out to be a fantastic time. And so we appreciate you, bro. We love you, man. And I'm very, very, very proud of you. And the man you're continuing to become. We'll support you, man, in anything. This is a brotherhood. It is more than just a podcast. And so we appreciate you, bro. Definitely. And we want to send blessings of love to you.
Hey,
On the other hand,
all mutual.
Go ahead, Jason. You want to say something?
I was just saying that the love and respect is mutual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And on the other hand, world, keep God first. Stay safe out there. And lastly, I want to send a rest in peace, fellas, to the wife of, my grandmother. She is the grandmother of my wife. And so she recently made her transition, guys. She was 103. And so she lived a long, healthy life. And the beautiful thing about it, fellas, is that if she made her transition, she didn't want us to cry. She didn't want folks to be sad. She like, I prepared y'all for this. She did a great job with her kids. All of her kids, all 7 of them are still living. And so it all turned out the way it was supposed to be. And she put the utmost character within my wife and their family, etc. And so I want to send a special rest in peace to the wife of my grandmother. You are a sweet soul. I love you. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on the other side. And so, world, thank you all for rocking with us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We truly appreciate the love and peace. Thank you all for your commentary and your support. Peace.
Peace.